Hi friends, welcome back. Want to give you an update on what's going on in the stock market today and a couple of the top stories. So let's jump right in. You can see here, Nvidia was up, JP Morgan was down, and essentially what moves markets, sometimes it's the news. In particular here, we'll start with JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon may or may not be retiring soon. That was sort of the indication that all the articles were pointing to, and I have a feeling that that was sort of the planned leaks. He's 68, so how much longer is he going to do this? Probably not much more. And the other thing too that was kind of interesting that also pushed the stock down a bit. They were talking about buybacks, and and the quote was at these prices, and then the answer was, are you going to be buying back? No, not really at these prices. So that was the main quote though, at these prices. So just kind of indicating that maybe the stock is a little bit rich. Also, too, talking about what's going on with earnings reports. Nvidia's got a big one. I believe it's Wednesday, and we'll keep an eye on that. And also, too, you got TJ Maxx and Target. These are kind of the themes running through the market. And I'm sure you guys know Nvidia has been the top stock for the past year or so, riding the AI boom. Can they beat earnings estimates? And by how much? Wall Street is expecting them to be continuing making lots of money. The problem with Nvidia, and I was just looking at the sort of grades quickly on this. Yes, it grows. Yes, it's profitable. Yes, everyone's buying it. Does it, your momentum? But the valuation's always been the problem, right? What is a fair valuation on this thing, and can it grow forever? So I'm not necessarily part of the AI hype machine. But I perfectly understand, guys. A lot of people are, and that's sort of what's driving the markets lately, right? Because essentially, if you kind of want to understand how these stocks work or how this market work in general, you're always looking for essentially the next big thing and betting on what's going to be great in the future. It's essentially what you're investing in, right? You're putting your money in now, hoping it grows further, and then everyone's sort of fighting for your attention of what that top sort of growth story is going to be. Currently though, and I always mention this guys as well, don't get focused on just one thing. It's good to look at everything. That's why I try to show you guys multiple things in the market. For example, the 2-year treasuries here, 4.86, 10 years at 4.45. When these get around the 5% level, it becomes tough for stocks to keep moving up like crazy. But you can see that it's not there right now. I'm talking about in terms of what the percentages are at, or yields, I guess is a better way to say it. You can also take a look at what's going on in sectors, and this is today. Tech was the one moving up. Financial services, that was dragged down by JP Morgan, as we guys talked about. I was down today, and then now you also have consumer discretionary and consumer staples down. If you want to look at different categories, and it's fun to talk about this stuff, momentum is up a bit, value was down, and high yield was down. The other big story too is actually Microsoft is trying to convince you, and all the PC makers, so be it like your Dells, or I guess Samsung sells computers as well. I'm trying to get other type of computer companies out there, or HP, I guess we would fall in that camp. Or do they sell computers, or maybe not? Maybe they sell just printers. Actually, you guys can correct me. I just don't remember if HP sells computers. I'm an Apple person, so I don't keep track of all of the PC manufacturers. But essentially, what Microsoft was introducing is, I guess, their new Windows is going to try to integrate AI stuff more. I've talked to you about this stuff, and people always point out like there's no such thing as an AI chip per se, because the chip just processes stuff. But that's the marketing that they're going to be trying to give. They're going to say, hey, these new AI computers are going to be more integrated software, hardware, have your co-pilots, your chat GPTs, integrated into this stuff. I looked at the few of the demo videos. I mean, it's nothing really that we haven't seen before, just it's more integrated. So for example, you look through your photos, let's say they're all stored in your computer or the web or whatever, and the computer will be able to put keywords in your photos, which I'm sure you guys have experienced this technology before. If you search for bicycle, it would pull up all the photos with bicycle in it. And what's interesting about and I know Apple does this, and I don't use Android, so I can't speak to that, but you guys can let me know if it is indeed the case. Like you can take people's faces, and then it'll say show me all the pictures with Freddie in there, and show me all the pictures with Janet, right? That kind of stuff. And it'll sort of like that. But that certainly seems like kind of where we're going. And then also too, they want to, they show the demos like integrate your, what do I want to call it? The mid journey kind of image generation kind of stuff. So I think the new sort of phrase that you may be hearing in the future could be like NPU, which would be like neural processing unit. They'll come up with some sort of buzzword for, get you excited about this stuff. We'll read a couple of the quotes from them. from Microsoft. Just interesting to hear their language. They say, we have completely reimagined the entirety of the PC from silicon to the operating system, the application layer to the cloud with AI at the center, marking the most significant change to Windows platform in decades. I will say, and I think a lot of their stuff is ARM based, and a lot of people are way more PC. I guess what's the right word to say? PC savvy than myself. I know about this stuff. I just I don't get too deep into it, but I do know about it. But I'll just say the new Apple chips. I think those are also ARM based. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I just call them the M chips. They've been absolutely fantastic. Run very, very well, especially when you do video processing or editing, etc. And also too, you don't really need a separate graphics card anymore for gaming even. So yeah, the new M chips in Apple have been really good. And the question is when is PC going to start having these essentially really thin laptops, cool and quiet? I guess the answer is now. And essentially this is sort of, I mean, I already see it in the MacBooks. They're fantastic. So I think I'm pretty sure Microsoft's going to come up with this stuff with like the Surfaces. That's what they were saying. So for example, it says here, the most notable, quote, recall, which Microsoft says is basically like if you had a PC, had a photographic memory, and could remember everything you looked at on the PC, helping you quickly recall where you stored something. Quote, you can scroll across time to find the content you need in your timeline across application, website, documents, and more. Interactive intuitively using snapshots with Screen Ray to help you take the next step using suggested actions based on object recognition. That's what I was telling you guys about, like, search for bicycle and they'll show you all the photos of the bicycle or something like that. And get back to where you were, whether specific email in Outlook or write chat in Teams. The other thing I was thinking about with this kind of stuff, when the AI is essentially cataloging and sorting all of your data, will there be privacy concerns, and do you want the computer to be doing that? I think it's an interesting question. But this is sort of where we're at. I will say, for me, say for example, like Gmail, email service, that kind of stuff, and you can search your email quickly. That's actually really, really handy to be able to find stuff like and I'm just thinking about like the way it's worked a lot in the past is I have to search for a specific keyword. And I wonder if like eventually we'll get the point to where like you can kind of put in, find me emails where, someone's sending me money, or find me emails where I need to send someone money. That more of a not necessarily specific keyword, but something that would be kind of the type of thing I'm looking for. I was just thinking out loud, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just sharing some general thoughts on this stuff, but that's essentially we're going over this stuff. This is sort of what you have to convince investors is this is the growth story going forward, right? And will people go into it? The other earnings I mentioned before, Target is coming up, and they actually already made a pre-earnings announcement. They're going to be cutting prices, which is interesting. They're saying here 5,000 items. Now, I've never shopped groceries at Target, so I can't speak to like how much of a food section that they have, because it looks like a lot of this stuff is food related. They call this everyday items. So milk, meat, again, this is at Target, bread, soda, fresh fruit, vegetables, snacks, yogurt, peanut butter, coffee, diapers, paper towels, pet food. These are some of the things that are going to be discounted, but this sort of shows you there may be a weakening consumer at their stores to where they can't pay these higher prices anymore. And so this is a challenge for, company to earnings report is like, okay, if I cut prices, maybe I can get more people through the door and, move more items, but you're certainly cutting your margins, right? And you guys know this too. We have to pay people more these days to keep up with inflation. So this is where it's tough for these type of companies. And this is the quote that they say here. They say, quote, we know consumers are feeling pressured to make the most of their budget. Again, this is coming from Target. And Target is here to help them save more. Our teams work hard to deliver great value every day. And these new lower prices that is, across thousands of items will add up to the additional big savings for millions of customers that shop Target each week for their everyday needs. And that's coming from the Executive Vice President and Chief Food and Essentials Officer. The other thing is too, and again, we're just talking about when you're looking for growth, what's going on in the markets. This Hims and Hers, I don't actually know much about this company, to be really frank. I know it's kind of like a meme stock every now and then because it moves in wild ways. I think it was up like 27% or something like that today. They were saying something that they may be getting into the weight loss drug industry. And I think the kind of thing like AI may be a buzzword for a while. And I think they were saying like they want to do a subscription service, $200 a month. This stuff, when you talk about this stuff with Americans, it gets to be really, really sensitive. it just is. And I laugh because guys, I do YouTube. I know how it is. It's a really sensitive topic. I'll just say this, eat healthy, exercise well, right? Care about your health, these kind of things. I wouldn't necessarily be dependent on this kind of stuff to keep your weight down, but I'll acknowledge that I think a lot of people, will be in the sense of that the companies will come out and, this is the secret to weight loss, this kind of stuff, and this will control your, your health, and just take this magic, drug, and you don't have to change your lifestyle. Like I said, some people get really upset if you say eat healthy and exercise, but I try my best to tell you the truth about this stuff. And also tell you the truth that there's going to be a lot of people who don't necessarily want to change their lifestyles and just want to do these weight loss drug things. But this is going to be, this is going to be definitely a big industry going forward. I think, we could live in a world where we all work from home and we just sit at our desk all day, every day, and, do delivery food so we don't have to get up from our couch even that often. They can even, maybe someday the drones will fly it through your window and drop it right on your lap on your couch, and you watch TV or whatever, and continue to take these. I just laugh because I know the reality of it, guys. There's going to be a lot of money in this stuff. I won't lie. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm a little bit cynical is the right word, I guess, to where I think the healthier solution is just exercise, eat healthy. But I also know the reality is that just for whatever reason, this industry will always be big, right? And I'll let you guys decide on that. So trying to be sensitive to these type of topics. Again, with Americans, this is a very, very sensitive topic, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of money in it. So that's what's going on in the markets today. I always appreciate your time, and I'll catch you all in the next video.